Breaking news from Fargo police. They need your help returning a vulnerable child to her caregivers. The 16-year-old was found early this morning at the Roadway Inn on South University in Fargo. Police say she has Down syndrome and is nonverbal, but is safe right now at the Fargo police station. She's about 4'8", 140 pounds. She is wearing brown pajamas, a dark purple jacket, and is wearing glasses. If you know who she is or are her caregiver, call dispatch at 701-451-7660. And we have a breaking news update. A fight turned violent when police say a man tried to use his car to ram another man in South Fargo this morning. The Valley Today's Courtney Lockey joins us live with this update this morning. And Courtney, the call first came in simply as a car versus building report. But my goodness, we're learning a lot more, especially since you talked to the victim in this case.
Yeah, I did. When I first showed up, Lisa, I was like, why are there were so many police cars here? And I was like, this seems a little bit odd, especially just looking at this damage, you know? And so learning that one man tried to hit another man with his car was crazy. But police arrested 36-year-old Benny Rodriguez for multiple charges, including terrorizing, aggravated assault, and a DUI. And I was standing just right down here, Lisa, when the victim actually came out of his balcony and said, you want to know the story? And he had the same story as police. He said that him and Rodriguez had gotten into an argument, and then that's when he jumped into his car and tried to hit him. Now, the victim actually ran behind this cement barrier here, and he says that's what he thinks saved his life. He did say that his leg was cut up pretty bad, but that he was treated on scene and released for his injuries. So a pretty scary situation for this man this morning.
Scary for sure, still hurt, but it could have been much worse. Courtney Lockey reporting live with that update on our breaking news. Thank you. Also breaking this morning, part of a Twin Cities highway was shut down overnight after a small plane crash landed on 35W and hit a car. The State Patrol says a 52-year-old Minneapolis pilot had to put his plane down in Arden Hills because of an emergency. There's no word yet on what the problem was. Amazingly, no one was hurt. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation and Safety Board are still investigating. New this morning, an 84-mile police chase that started in North Dakota and ended in Montana finally landed a Wisconsin man in jail. Here's how it all played out. It started in Gladstone, North Dakota yesterday morning when the suspect left a gas station without paying. State troopers clocked the driver at more than 80 miles per hour on I-94 headed west. They flattened 3 of his tires with stop sticks near Medora, but the guy kept going, this time only at speeds of 30 to 65 miles an hour, and at one point he actually sideswiped a police squad car. About 12 miles into Montana, state troopers there finally hit and disabled the car with a pit maneuver. Travis Hahn of Wisconsin was arrested for driving under revocation and fleeing. Charges are also likely in North Dakota. 8 police agencies were involved in that crash. 6 people are missing after landslides hit the Alaskan town of Haines. Significant rainfall on top of frozen snow triggered a large landslide that tore through neighborhoods. 30 people had to be evacuated. 6 are still unaccounted for. There are 20 homes in that area. 4 have been destroyed. Search and rescue crews are in the area. Commercial fishermen are also helping by using their personal boats to assist. Police say the search and rescue efforts were suspended last night due to rumbling, unstable ground, but efforts will resume this morning. A check now of our forecast. It's a nice quiet start to our Thursday.
It sure is. We're looking at temperatures that are going to be mild. We've got dry weather. We've got the sun on the way. And this time it'll stick around once it's up closer to the 8 o'clock hour. We're looking on our First Alert Skycam network in Fargo. We've been watching that sunrise. Just a few clouds out there, but overall we're looking at mostly sunny skies ahead. And you can see Venus brightly shining right now. And we'll continue to see some conditions that are really pleasant as we work our way through the day. Now, you know, it's December, so our December mornings are going to most likely be below freezing, so you'll still want to bundle up, but this is much milder than what we've seen many December mornings in the past. And we're looking at some teens and some 20s here. It's 19 degrees in Fargo, 23 in Grand Forks. It's 16 in Fosston, that's the cold spot, and 28 in Jamestown. Factor in a little bit of wind, and wind chills are in the teens in most areas. Fosston feels like 7. So again, you'll want to be dressed appropriately for these sub-freezing temperatures. But it's quiet. We've got got those clear skies. We've got a couple of clouds dropping in over by the Devil's Lake Basin and up by Lake of the Woods. You can see that on our radar and satellite map. And for your bus stop planner, expect to have temperatures in the 20s to some teens here to start off this morning. We'll see sunny skies once the sun is up, and then into the afternoon, that just continues. We'll be back into the 30s and even some 40s depending on where you are. Fargo, a high of 39. We may just reach that 40-degree mark. We'll have to see, but it's going to be a mild one for today and beyond. Friday looking more of the same for us, and Saturday into the 40s as well. And we see more 40s even into next week. So this is just a nice dry, quiet stretch in the region as we kick off December. So we're looking at, this first week and beyond looking rather mild and quiet. Now, looking way beyond that into the second half of the month, right now, those longer range models signaling a colder air moving in and maybe more active patterns. So for those of you who want more Christmas-like weather, you may get it. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But until then, it's looking mild and sunny.
There's still a couple weeks before Christmas, so we're okay. We can get our snow, but just not yet. Thank you, Lisa. I do have a quick update on a breaking story. We're now hearing from Fargo police. We were telling you that there was a girl who was found, a vulnerable child, found at a Fargo hotel. She has been returned to her caregiver. So we are working to get more information, but that update from Fargo police right now. Fargo City Commissioners are working on ways to help local businesses impacted by the coronavirus pandemic beyond what is available at the state and federal level. A few of the ideas that they are looking at are waiving next year's liquor license fees, adjusting utility bills, and reducing property taxes. City Planning Director Jim Gilmore says at least 30 Fargo businesses have closed so far during the pandemic. That includes 7 hotels and 19 restaurants and breweries that have not renewed licenses required by the city. This morning, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum will lay out his priorities for the next state budget. The governor will address legislators at 10 o'clock this morning with his 21 through 2023 budget proposal. This comes as many states, of course, are experiencing big changes in budget forecasts while the pandemic shuts down businesses. Stay with Valley News Live throughout the day to see how the governor wants to spend your tax dollars. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's COVID focus today is how the pandemic is impacting housing. He's holding a news conference this afternoon to highlight assistance efforts that ensure people can afford to stay in their homes. He'll be joined by the Lieutenant Governor and 4 state agency commissioners. As COVID-19 cases and deaths surge, hospitalizations from the virus have hit an all-time high. That has the CDC once again asking Americans not to travel for the upcoming holidays. Its director, Dr. Robert Redfield, warned the pandemic death toll in the U.S. could hit 450,000 by February. He said the winter months ahead could be the most difficult in the history of public health. Let's take a look at our numbers here in North Dakota and Minnesota. New COVID cases are up in Minnesota, an additional 5,192 cases. That's a big jump from the day before when cases numbered at 3,570. North Dakota has an additional 486 cases compared with 409 reported the day before. Minnesota is also reporting 77 new deaths, and North Dakota has 12 new COVID deaths. Just hours after a Grand Forks mom gave birth to her son, she found out she had COVID-19, and family and friends say it's a long road ahead. 6-pound Thompson John was not only isolated from his mom, Brittany, because of her positive COVID test, but his dad and big sister were also positive. That's when the newborn baby's grandparents stepped in for his first weeks in the world.
The thought of having to leave the hospital without your wife after having a baby, to me, there's no worse kind of situation.
Several people in the community have organized a gift drive for the family. We have all the details on how you can help out. Find this story on your VNL News app and click on it. A group of North Dakota doctors is asking Governor Doug Burgum to extend the statewide mask mandate until at least February, maybe longer. Members of the state chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics says since the mandate started, active cases in the state have been nearly cut in half. They say North Dakotans should continue to wear masks until immunizations become more widely available. North Dakota's mask mandate is in effect through December 13th. 2 protests are planned at NDSU this weekend after a racist Snapchat group, including students from NDSU, was publicly exposed on social media this week. It prompted dozens to demand action and change on campus, with several reaching out to our Valley News Live whistleblower hotline. The protests will be tomorrow and Saturday at 2 in the afternoon. Tomorrow's will start at the Memorial Union and end at President Dean Brashani's house. The one on Saturday will be at the university president's home. Got to show you this video. A dog is waking up safe in her West Fargo home today after a dangerous turn of events on the Cheyenne River. Someone spotted the dog stranded on a piece of ice around 9:30 yesterday morning, called 911, and that's when Cass County Sheriff's deputies came to the rescue of Luna. She was brought back to shore and back to her family. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: 66% of the Earth's population has never seen this. Well, we're not seeing it right now. December in North Dakota, that's weird. The answer is snow. Remember, the Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on right now on the Fargo CW.